973EHT Namo 973 is a mysterious website with over 12,000 pages that gets progressively more cryptic and disturbing the further you go. It's a seemingly endless rabbit hole of cryptic wordplay, mathematical puzzles, and surrealist art. The website has been created by a man in the UK named David Danna-Shine, but there isn't really a whole lot of info about him. The site has been up and running for well over 15 years. Everything on this website feels somewhat eerie. There's a lot of different symbolism, a lot of numbers and equations, a surreal imagery, and a big focus on religion visible on the site. If we take a look at the URL itself, we can quickly identify that David has spelled the human backwards. What we can also witness on the site is that numerology is related to the number 9, and basically all equations equal 9. There are also pages where each number equates to a letter, so this could be used to get a better understanding of the website. According to angelnumbers.com, the number 9 is a symbol of completeness of God, and also a symbol of finality. Overall, there is a religious undertone to the entire website. On one of the pages, I was able to find this, reading, Holy Bible, Schofield references. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not. The next page continues in the same fashion. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, may God bless thee and keep thee. May God be gracious unto thee, and shine the light of its holy spiritual countenance upon thee, and guide thee in universal truth, in peace, and in love. And so on. The obsession with perfect numbers, also with religion, could make you believe that the person is indeed suffering from some mental health issue. Also, given the sheer quantity of content available on the website, and believing that a single person is responsible for it, makes it hard to believe that the creator is sane. Though this is just speculation. I haven't seen any evidence yet that the website is not being run by multiple people. It is also believed that David is an artist. That explains a lot of the surreal imagery shown on the site, likely drawn by himself. The theory that this is just an ARG or art project seems unlikely. There are no real puzzles to solve. The creator isn't setting it up as something that is intended to promote a product or service. It's just this website, with over 12,000 entries. Keep in mind that there are individual pages where you can scroll for minutes on end, and it doesn't stop. It seems too elaborate, too long running, and there doesn't really seem to be an end goal with it. There is a subreddit dedicated to the site, but I also haven't seen any major breakthroughs or anything on there. As for the purpose of the website, there are only speculations, one of which being that the website was set up by David to prove by complex mathematics that God is real. This is a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel for free to stay up to date with new uploads. You can also support the channel on Patreon and get something in return. It's greatly appreciated. Five Hand Chronicles appears to be a regular blog, but it's in fact an online diary from an inmate named Joseph Edward Duncan on death row, chronicling his life while awaiting his death. Each entry is an unfiltered look into the mind of a serial killer. The entries, eloquent in nature, discuss altercations with inmates and guards, detailing his day-to-day on federal death row. Going through these entries, it's not surprising to start emphasizing with Joseph, seeing him as an ordinary man who is having a tough life. However, Joseph is a horrible person. He has taken the lives of 5 to 8 people, awarded up to 16, molested and stalked up to 7 people. He committed these crimes in a total time span of 27 years. His first case dates back to when he was only 15 years old. He held a young boy at gunpoint and did things that I cannot describe here. He's an extremely dangerous individual and would have kept going for the rest of his life. The blog's archive goes back to April 2010 up to the 28th of January 2021. On Wednesday of the 14th of April 2010, Joseph shares his initial thoughts of first arriving in jail in California, reading, "I'm here in jail in California facing death. This is my worst nightmare come true. It's the thing I feared more than anything for most of my adult life. It was that fear that ultimately drove me here, but now I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not sad or depressed or angry. Of course, I'm not happy or pleased either. I'm just here, and I'm not ill, worried, or suffering. I get stressed over the noise at times, but when it's quiet like now, I can empty my mind and totally accept things as they are, totally. I sleep, eat, read, and meditate on a narrow 22 concrete bunk. The mattress is 2 inches of foam padding wrapped in nylon reinforced plastic. It is 6 inches wider than the bunk and 10 inches shorter than me. There's no pillow and one thin, dirty, and torn wool blanket. It's uncomfortable, but I don't mind. I didn't come here to sleep. Years later, in March of 2019, Joseph made a very long entry detailing what he did prior to his arrest, trying to escape prosecution, reading, "After kidnapping, R-wording, and murdering 10-year-old Anthony Martinez in Riverside County, California, I drove south, then east into Arizona. I decided to drive into Mexico and take my chances on the streets on some big city down there rather than in the US, where I had warrants and a criminal record. I assumed the record and warrants wouldn't follow me or hound me down there, and maybe I could get a job, learn the language, and live my life unmolested and free. But I never got to find out. In fact, I never even got into Mexico, at least not all the way in." It's eerie how frivolously he talks about his crimes. It feels like it's just a small part of the entire story. Recounting his over 2-decade-long criminal history, it's no surprise that he lacks empathy. You might be curious as to how he even set up this website while he was still in custody. It is believed that Joseph, due to his endless boredom and solitary confinement, was writing letters and sending them to friends and fans. One of those people, going by the anonymous alias Agent Cooper, would upload these letters to the website. Agent Cooper would post the last entry on 5N Chronicles on a Thursday on the 28th of January 2021. Here we learn that Joseph suffers from a tumor, reading, "I have 3 federal death sentences, in addition to life without parole sentences, in at least 2 different states, Idaho and California. But it seems now that the universe has other plans for me. About 2 months ago, I started experiencing numbness in my arm, leg, and torso and head, on the left side of my body. I even pushed the emergency call button in my cell at one point, because I knew something was wrong with me medically. Not that it did any good to push the button. After 5 or 10 minutes, a guard showed up at my cell door and asked, 'What is your emergency?' I told him about the numbness and spacey feeling in my head, and he left and never came back. I spoke to a lieutenant that was just walking past my cell a half hour later, but he didn't do anything to help me either. At least, not that I know of." After 2 months of this blog post, Joseph passed away in the hospital. 5N Chronicles has been inactive ever since, but is still accessible to date. Insecam.org is a directory of online security surveillance cameras, featuring hundreds of pages of different security cameras from all over the world. This footage isn't owned by the website itself. The description of the site reads, "Welcome to Insecam Project, the world's biggest directory of online surveillance security cameras. Select a country to watch live street, traffic, parking, office, road, beach, earth, online webcams. Now you can search live webcams around the world. You can find here a list of network video cameras available online without a password. According to my understanding, certain security cameras don't have any password. Insecam.org tries to find these cameras and streams the footage to their website. While most of the cameras film public areas, there are multiple cameras showing private areas like living rooms or kitchens. So if you didn't bother or forgot to set up a password for your security camera, your footage could very well be accessible on this website. While this can easily be avoided by setting up a password, a lot of people either don't know or just didn't set it up. The more you scroll through the pages on the website, the more you'll encounter footage of things that most likely weren't intended for the public to see. Here, for instance, is live camera footage from Washington, United States, showing the inside of someone's house. Below the footage, we see coordinates, a zip code, and even locations on a map to track down where the footage comes from. While the website claims that the coordinates aren't accurate, this information still can be used maliciously. This one is from Damascus, Syria, and shows the woman sitting on a chair. Later, a boy can be seen replacing the woman. I mean, you just can't tell me that she's aware of being live streamed to the internet. Again, below the stream, we can find coordinates and more information. While this website itself also seems kinda malicious, those that operate it claim that only filtered cameras are available now. This way, none of the cameras on Insecam invade anybody's private life. Further, any private or unethical camera will be removed immediately upon email complaint. please provide a direct link to help facilitate the prompt removal of the camera. While this seems like something noble to do, I highly doubt that most of these people even know that they are being shown on these websites in the first place. The website doesn't ask for any consent for this footage to be shown, they just do it. And then it's basically up to you to find this website and email them. While the website isn't actively hacking into these cameras, they are still providing the footage for it. According to my understanding, however, this actually seems to be legal. If you do not set up a password, then anyone can access your camera freely. I obviously recommend to anyone watching, if you have a security camera device of any kind and do not have a password, you should maybe try to set it up. Hashima Island is an abandoned island off Nagasaki, lying about 15 kilometers from the center of the city. It's one of over 500 uninhabited islands in Nagasaki Prefecture. Most notable about the island are abandoned buildings and a wall surrounding it. The island is both a symbol for rapid industrialization of Japan, as well as a reminder of Japanese war crimes as a site of forced labor prior to and during World War II. Especially during the war, civilians and prisoners were treated extremely badly. Beginning in the 1930s and until the end of World War II, conscripted Korean civilians and Chinese prisoners of war were forced to work under very harsh conditions and brutal treatment at the Mitsubishi facility as forced laborers under Japanese wartime mobilization policies. During this period, many of those conscripted laborers died on the island due to various dangers, including underground accidents, exhaustion, and malnutrition. 137 died by one estimate, about 1,300 by another. The island was known for its undersea coal mines, established in 1887, which operated during the industrialization of Japan. The island reached a peak population of over 5,000 in 1959. In 1974, with the coal reserves nearing depletion, the mine was closed and all of the residents departed soon after, leaving the island effectively abandoned for the following 3 decades. Interest in the island re-emerged in the 2000s on account of its undisturbed historic ruins, and it gradually became a tourist attraction. Certain collapsed exterior walls have since been restored, and travel to Hashima was reopened to tourists on 22 April 2009. Increasing interest in the island resulted in the initiative for its protection as a site of industrial heritage. The website itself says, "Welcome to Hashima Island. On the 27th of June 2013, Google released brand new street views of a forgotten world off the coast of Japan, in Nagasaki Prefecture. Take a haunted trip through history and discover the secrets and myths hidden amongst Hashima's island's mysterious, desolate landscape." It almost feels like an art project, but it's completely real. You have a disturbing overlay and music playing, while you have access to a Google Street View perspective of the island, along with descriptions and historical facts about the place. I recommend to check it out for yourself. It's pretty haunting. For this website, I actually have to talk about an anime show, and yes, this is actually relevant, so just give me a moment. The anime is called Death Note. The gist of the show is that there is a book called the Death Note. Any full name written in that book will result in the death of that person. There are also possibilities to give full instructions on how the person should die. If there is no instruction given, the person dies from a heart attack. There is a Japanese website named Danna-Shine, which has the same concept, and things on here are pretty dark. On this website, women anonymously post how and why they want their husbands to die, by praying to the website's god of death to take their husband away, or sometimes themselves, much like the anime or manga Death Note. It has a monthly counter of how many successful husband deaths had occurred. Since the website and its posts are in Japanese, I'll have to use Google Translate for the following. Let's go through a few of these posts to get an idea on how truly gruesome some of these posters really are. Some are very gruesome and literally involve step-by-step guides on how to poison your husband with chemicals that have no taste, nor smell, nor any color, making it impossible to detect, avoiding autopsy checks. It's truly monstrous. Pretty sure I cannot show that here, so we'll skip ahead to what I can show, with this one reading, I want everyone to die. I wish I had died. Why don't you die? Why live? I hate it already. My daughter cries. It's natural that this person gets angry. I was bad about what I told my daughter on TV at the end. I just let me know on TV. Playful. I didn't have an appetite for rice. I wish I could eat a little rice made by Coco. Where do I need to eat my own? I'm sorry for that. When I said that, I understand that way. The way I can tell you is fucking who makes us angry. Let me see the trash and eat with leftover food. Reaper, please drop him into hell. Please drag. Save us. I think you get the point. This person is basically praying to the Grim Reaper to free them from the person they hate. This next one continues in the exact same fashion. Recently, the palpitations are terrible just by feeling the existence. I have no body. Grim Reaper, I think I married Morahara and the marriage failed. I have no eyes and I have no heart. However, I'm grateful for the treasure of my life because I have 2 daughters who have grown up as good children. Recently, the palpitations are terrible just by feeling the existence. I have no body. Please, take Mr. Morahara. I don't want to be with you for a second. Thank you. There are endless posts like this one, and the posts are very recent, these dating back to yesterday. Posters seem very desperate with their real-life situation, begging for a supernatural force to end their suffering by killing the person that is causing it. What did you say about loose leaf and file passing? Words I said when I went out in the morning. Show me a copy of the passbook and household books today. I don't want to see the receipt separately. Show me a proper household account book. You can see. Then I bought a household account book. What did you say about loose leaf and file passing? I can see my head exploding. A man who is not worth living is angry with me and myself. Why are you breathing? I don't have the air to breathe. I want to be quick and easy. I want to spend every day with a smile with my daughter. Death God, please help us. Please be buried in an eternal accident death. May I leave the world without breathing? I'm sure I'll die in a traffic accident. There's one confirmed case of a man dying and the police being able to link it back to this website. Consequently, the site seemed to have been privatized for a while, but has ever since been active. On the very top of the page, there seems to be a tracker of sorts that tells visitors if someone's wishes were granted, meaning if someone died and on which date. Angelsheaven.org is one of those doomsday websites, making claims that the Earth will be completely destroyed. Angelsheaven.org offers a way to evacuate planet Earth. Humans are capable of switching to different dimensions with aliens to escape from Earth. On the site, they clarify that they aren't forcing anyone to join them, reading, "Why are you loving friends from other worlds? We love and we help you as much as we can, as you permit us. We cannot interfere forcibly. Everything is up to you people. What future and what life conditions you'll choose. Many people have recognized and are recognizing our help, which they absorb with their open heart, via love. For the love is a leading force of our life. They believe if we activate our heart chakras, we can summon aliens who will then evacuate us before the Earth gets destroyed." Not gonna lie, some of these graphics on the site seem pretty elaborate, with detailed plans on how the spaceship for the evacuation should look like, which things should be in there, exact dimensions of it, etc. They also warn people that they are being chipped, and that you should warn others of this danger. The site has been running as early as 1999, so this definitely isn't a troll or a joke, this is a serious website. There are 7,000 pages of text and books to download. They are depending on crowdfunding, and they detail that between 1999 and 2012, 90% of donations came from the Czech Republic and 10% from Slovakia. There are also a lot of videos that can be directly downloaded from the site, as well as a YouTube channel called A Whaley with videos dating back as early as 13 years ago. Here we can also see people that seem to be running the website, or are at least involved in some way.
Existujú mimozemské civilizácie alebo nie? Laická i odborná verejnosť na toto odpoveď nepozná. Mám tu však člověka, který má v tomto celkom jasno, pán Ivo Aštarbenda.
Víte, když jsem byl ještě dítě, tak určitě jsem byl velice zvídavý. No a hlavně, jestli teda jsme tady my jenom, anebo ještě jiné společnosti, civilizace na jiných planetách.
This seems to have been filmed somewhere in Slovakia. The most recent video on the channel is from 2018. This time, we can see other people having a conversation.
Politika má byť nástrojom pomoci. Politika nemá byť nástrojom ovládania ľudí. Politika má byť nástrojom pomoci ľuďom, zjednodušovania ich života, tak aby vedeli nachádzať samých seba, aby mohli slobodne žiť, slobodne sa robiť.
Finally, the website calls upon others to spread the word, with step-by-step guidelines on how to do it, reading, "This way of spreading is crucial and determines today here on Earth, in the third dimension, in the core's vibrations." Available are our addresses, which are the main source of information of light. These information are the most actual and up-to-date, and no other information on planet Earth are comparable to them in volume, truthfulness, and topicality from the cosmic people of the forces of light. From this website, one can freely spread messages, pictures, video, audio, and other information. Suitable means for spreading are also leaflets, appeals, mottos, and brief slogans, which are apt, concise, and they don't burden a reader with a waste of time at first contact. The sheer quantity of information is staggering. The topics discussed and the sheer length this group of people went to compile such information is pretty eerie. If you're interested, check it out for yourself. Housecreep.com is a website that serves as an archive to map the exact addresses of homes where murders, crimes, or other historical events have occurred. The information is gathered from personal experiences, online articles, old newspaper clippings, death certificates, and other public records, which people upload and publish directly on the site. You can also put down your own area and look for houses near you where a crime or anything disturbing happened. By far, the most archived cases are from the United States and Canada. The site is run by volunteers and relies on donations, so give them a buck if you want to support their work. YouTube recommends that you watch the video on the screen right now. Also, help support the channel and get something in return by checking out the Patreon. Bye bye.